And yes, I am also recording this to my Zoom. I like to keep myself accountable when I am doing recordings. And I want to welcome everyone today. My name is Janice Malillo, and I am a virtual/executive assistant for busy entrepreneurs. And what I love sharing, what I am passionate about is to let you know where I am in my journey, because I think that is really very vitally important when you are creating a business, when you are creating that momentum to also, excuse me, to also build your business. Mindset is so important. So I want to say welcome back to myself. Welcome back, because it has been a crazy 8 months for myself and my family. And when you're trying to get back on the consistency train, talk about mindset, talk about what you are passionate about. I think it is so vitally important to be authentic, to be real, and to really show your true self. Now, and by the way, too, I will also be uploading the video to my YouTube channel. And if you view the YouTube video, you will see that I am all bundled up. Yes, I am that person, excuse me, that is always cold. And it's so funny because I live in the Northeast, and a few days ago it was absolutely beautiful, probably in the mid to upper 70s, almost reached 80 degrees. And now we're back to very frigid temperatures with the possibility, dare I say it, that 4-letter word, snow. Okay, so now I've chatted about the weather, got all that out of the way. And today's, excuse me, today's headline is Mindset After an Absence. So if some of you may know, if you've been following me, and I am also on Clubhouse, again, I want to introduce myself. My name is Janice, and I am a virtual/executive assistant, and in the process of rebranding, and Creative Project Ways was born very recently after about an 8-month absence of showing up consistently. And I am back. I plan on showing up quite frequently on my audio social media, as well as my YouTube channel. And what I want to say about mindset after an absence, especially when I've been through such an emotional turmoil, and hopefully this will, I guess what I want to share, or what I want to say is, my son is fine. He's okay. His progress thus far is miraculous. I am eternally blessed and grateful. Back in July of 2019, my son suffered a life-threatening injury. And as I said, he's doing so well today. His progress, like I said, absolutely amazing, miraculous. And what that taught me, these past 8 months have taught me, is that mindset is always an integral part of whatever project, whatever you are doing in your life. For me, I was blessed in the sense that I am a virtual assistant and executive assistant, whatever you want to call me. And I do work from home. So I have that luxury of that my business is portable, is what I'm trying to say. And at the time, and again, this is just me being very raw and real. At that time, at that very specific time on Monday, July 19th, 2021 at 1 p.m. in the afternoon was when my son had his accident. I didn't find out about that until 2 a.m. the next day. But what I want to share with you is, in that very sliver moment of time, when I could have lost my son, thankfully I did not. I had gotten up from my desk. I thought I was on top of the world, having an awesome day, love my clients, working on these amazing projects. And I had snapped a picture of myself because I was just in that moment of time where it was so exciting. I'm doing what I love to do when I want to do it, working with creative entrepreneurs, helping them build their businesses. Life was amazing. And the best thing about it was the benefit from that was obviously I was making money to support my family. It was my, I believe, I say second or third, but I believe it was my third week of bringing in 4 figures. So I was headed toward a 5-figure month. But it was in that moment of time, the exact moment of time. Again, I didn't know that at the time, when my son had his accident. Obviously, I found out what had happened, transpired at 2 a.m. the next morning, rushed down to Philly, and I'm there for over 2 weeks. It was touch and go. He was in very critical condition. And that tug, as a parent, it tugs at your heartstrings. Sorry, I was getting a little choked up there. It did tug at my heartstrings. And in that moment where I had to decide with my business what was going to transpire, because I obviously had to communicate with my clients. I had a couple of upcoming projects that weren't yet started, and notified everybody as I'm traveling on the train down to Philly to rush to be with my son, what was transpiring. Anyways, fast forward 8 months, 7 hospitalizations, back and forth to Philly. Yes, I feel like a yo-yo. But that first time that I came back to Philly, I realized that an important part of me, an important part of getting back to what I love to do was, it just, right, I guess what I'm trying to say is, and I'm sorry that I'm stuttering about this, Ryan's accident really helped me to focus on what I like to do and what I don't like to do. And it reshaped, and for me, renegotiated my mindset. I started a project the day after I had gotten home, initially came home and finished it. It took about 8 to 10 hours, finished the project right away, emailed it to the client. They were like, oh my God, you just got back from, your son having a life-threatening injury, and you're boom, 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 getting these projects out. But there was such a deep sadness when I was working on that project. At the time, I was also doing a lot of contract work for different attorneys. And we need attorneys, but I'm a paralegal. I have a 30-year paralegal experience behind me. And I said, I questioned myself. Why am I doing legal work when I'm not that crazy about doing legal work? In that moment, after I sent that email to the client, I wrote down the pros and cons of working with attorneys. And let me just say that I am so grateful and blessed, obviously, that my son is doing so well, but also because I had the mindset to think that, okay, I am making great money here. I'm supporting my family, but I'm not crazy about what I'm doing. I knew I had to make a change. Fast forward 8 months, back and forth to Philly again for Ryan's pre-op. Then he had the major surgery to replace the left side of his skull. and then the follow-up, the post-op to get all the staples taken out. So the drive from Connecticut to Philly is about 3 to 4 hours. Had a lot of time to think. And then it felt like I was hit by a thunderbolt. What the heck is she talking about now? It was in that moment, and I think I was going over the George Washington Bridge, when it occurred to me, I love creative projects. Absolutely love and thrive on creative projects. And I love helping my clients pull that out of them so that they can create and support their projects with their clients. And thus Creative Project Ways was born. So now I've bought the domain name, set up the professional email, and worked on my website, which is like, now I'm very familiar through Google Workspace, formerly known as G Suite, I believe. Within that workspace is one of their apps called Sites. So I was able to build my website, and I got to tell you, I have a guest waiting. Awesome. Oh my God, I was so excited. And we have a guest coming up, and I'm excited about that. I hope I remembered to change the, hey, Demetrius, welcome today. How are you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Very well, thank you. So obviously you've heard me chat a little bit about mindset after an absence. Have you experienced where maybe you started showing up consistently and then something happened where it led you down a different path? Or what can you share with us today about your mindset after an absence?
I could definitely say there's been times where that's happened, showed up, and then fell off in terms of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best thing I could think to say for that is the main two things that I've stayed consistent with since I've started them, which is, one of them, I don't know if I can say I started. It is something. One of them is music, and the other is my dedication to God. I'm a believer, believer in Christ. So those two things, out of everything else, I've stayed consistent with ever since I started. Everything else, it kind of, goes in and out. So that's kind of like the best thing I can think of to say for that. I literally just kind of joined into your talk. And just joined in.
Yeah, and I love. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I love, music is such an integral part, but God, I love that aspect of it. I am a Christian. We just celebrated Easter, and I'm a firm believer in, my son's progress. Everyone's reached out, of course, and always asking how he's doing. And I got to tell you, his progress, from where he was to where he is miraculous. And the power of prayer, and, to have those consistent things in your life, music and God is so very important. And, one thing I was chatting with my business coach about the other day was, okay, she's like, oh my God, you're like a steamroller. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. But it's so important for me that I want to create that consistency again. And of course, build my business back up again. And I'm just, I don't know where this journey will take me, but I see the vision, if that makes any sense. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
I would say, the keyword that really that you really stood out to me, like you just said, like a last word, vision. I'm like, I teach a lot about vision. And I have developed a lot of it since a couple years ago, back in 2020, um, for the future, the plans and goals that I have, and my purpose in life, which is music. I'm a musician and a singer, artist, writer, and everything. Um, and I just have like really clear and big, vision for the future of that purpose. Like seeing myself performing at like big concerts and releasing really big albums and such. So hopefully that's relevant to what you asked.
Yeah. Oh my God, it absolutely is. You have that vision, and as you were describing that, I was kind of getting chills because I saw a vision of watching you on the stage. And I think the vision is also part of the journey. It's like, okay, I have this vision and I see myself where I'm going to be. And then of course, the big question is, how do we get there? And I want to thank you so much for sharing that. It looks like we're going to run out of time in just a moment. So please feel free to sign back on. Excuse me. Thank you, Demetrius. I am eternally grateful that you shared with us. And I certainly will be keeping an eye out for you as far as where you are in your journey. I mean, that sounds amazing. And I want to say, wow, mindset is one of those things. And I have another guest coming up. Let's see, 3, 2, 1. Well, good morning, Papa Bear. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Driving on my way to work, posted a little talked to someone on theirs, and was listening to what you were saying. I saw the title. I was listening to the last bit of your last conversation, and was thinking about asking a question. Do you know
Sure.
the difference, or like, have you heard of the growth mindset?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So like I run like a school, basically kind of like dean of instruction. So choose how we teach and how we do it. And so like trying to get people to understand the growth mindset when they've never heard of it or never learned about it, or have always been told like a more fixed mindset kind of construct for their life, where you are smart, or you are strong, or you are fast, or you are whatever, instead of setting your goals and knowing that you can achieve whichever goals you want to, as long as you're willing to put in the work and get there, right?
Absolutely. And I think that really isn't what you said, makes so much sense. But I know that some people, they're like, okay, I have this goal. Now I need the mindset. Like, okay, where's the mindset? Like they don't know how to go about achieving that growth mindset. There's growth mindset and fixed mindset. And,
right.
It's like, okay, how do you go about doing that? So as you had mentioned, that I picked up on your, excuse me, you have some kind of a school or something. Can you share with us, like maybe some tips if somebody's listening that they're, they have a goal, but maybe a couple tips you could share with us that may enlighten them and inspire them to take action.
So the school that I run is for the Marine Corps. So like I'm dealing entirely with adults. So it's a little bit different if you're trying to, and honestly, I think you're in a better position if you're working with younger children who haven't already fully like set themselves to one mindset or the other. But I honestly, because of the fact that this is a problem or a concept or a thing that should be developed when people are younger as best we can, It's so funny because there's a really great book by Carol Dweck that kind of breaks down the mindset, right? So it's called Mindset.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You know, I have
Yeah.
heard of that book. Have you heard of Robin Sharma's book, The 5 a.m. Club?
I have not, no.
It's a story. There's a story with it, which is very engaging. And I think men and women, you know, would equally enjoy that book. But and I'm probably not going to describe this as well as Mr. Sharma writes in his book, but he's sharing why in the premise, like building the groundwork, so to speak. For instance, building a house, you have to have a foundation before you can actually build the house. And I think that's probably, for me, the simplest strategy that I know how to go for or to create that foundation is to actually start building it. And sometimes the starting point may be the hardest part. And question for you, I see after your name, you have USMC after that.
Yep.
Does that mean that you were in the armed services of the United States?
Yeah, I'm an active duty United States Marine.
Oh my God, thank you so much for your service to our country. I have great respect and admiration for those who sacrifice for others. So thank you for your service, and to your fellow Marines and anybody that's in the armed services. Appreciate your service. That is amazing.
My pleasure. So I retire next year, 2023, in the summer, and spent the last year running a podcast every week with a friend of mine. We decided we wanted to talk about like social issues, government, and like it really starts even just with what do some of these words mean for governments. Like basically, I'm a political scientist major. I've got degrees in like understanding the constructs of governments and how.
Oh, sorry about that, Papa Bear. The time on the meter there ran out. And that's amazing that oh, we have another guest. Maybe this is Papa Bear coming back on. Yep, it's Papa Bear. And waiting for him to join. There you are. Sorry about that.
I'm at my office, so I can't be on my phone.
Gotcha.
No, you're fine. So I've started this thing where if someone says thank you for your service, because if you don't know it, like sometimes for some of us, especially if you've been doing it a long time, it's kind of I don't necessarily always know what to say in response to make it the best kind of response to that, if that makes sense.
Right,
It's
I
kind
understand.
of an awkward situation for us a lot of times.
Sure.
But so what I've decided to do is now I always carry my business cards, because with my retirement coming up, we had this podcast going, and every topic we talked about social construct, like basically we're talking about social issues, problems, and how we see solutions to it. We would keep coming back around to homelessness and the fact that constantly fed into all of these other problems. And so I decided with retirement coming and looking at job prospects and what it was I wanted to do, that instead of continuing to talk about homelessness, why don't I do something about it? So I started a nonprofit in December of last year. We're basically 4 months into starting it. We are going to work to identify homeless veterans that our program will work for. Identify veterans experiencing homelessness and bring them into the program, and together design and build a tiny home in the back of a retired ambulance so that they can take it and go get work anywhere in the country where the work they want to do will actually pay a living wage in the area that they're in. So I made it my response to thank you for your service to give out a business card. So that was kind of my business card version, or my audio version of the business card.
Oh my God. Papa Bear, I got to tell you, I was getting chills as you were describing that. That is flipping amazing. And if you could do me a really big favor and email me your contact information. My email is Janice, JANIS at Creative Project Ways, WAYS.com. and I believe on my profile might even have my digital business card. Let me know how I can assist you. Very interested in what your nonprofit and what you are doing for our homeless veterans. I think that is just absolutely amazing. So I know that you said that you, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. My apologies. I was talking over you. So I know that you said that you're on your way into work. Any parting words that you would like to share with us again about mindset?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I've noticed this thing with wisdom. So I usually do my talks coming into work, and I have an alarm that goes off at 08. And if my alarm goes off while I'm having a talk, it kind of cuts off all the audio. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to get right back in.
Oh goodness! Oh my goodness!
But I sent you a message on Instagram. So I just tapped on the profile here, pulled the Instagram up, and sent the message. I don't know if it's sent from my personal one or from the Rescue Residents nonprofit messenger, but
yeah,
I'll use that to try to at least coordinate getting messaging back and forth. And you can identify all of the websites, and so we're on everything social media, like to the point where I felt too old for TikTok, and we met with our social media manager last Friday, and he's like, get on TikTok. It's going to drive people to your website, drive people to your agenda, to your mission. So we started doing TikTok every day last week.
Oh my God.
It has significantly improved the amount of traffic to our website. So
oh my gosh, that is wonderful. I am so happy to hear that. You know, so much goodness that is going on in the world today. And you know, I think you said that you came on kind of midstream in the conversation. I was one thing that I initially chatted about was my son suffered a life-threatening injury, but he's doing so well right now. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. And he really inspired me in so many different ways when I was feeling so low and so sad about everything that had transpired, and really just, you know, kind of snapped me out of it. And I said, okay, you know, time to do some creative project ways. And I'm very excited about that. And, you know, so much goodness out there. And I can't wait to see where, and I'm on TikTok as well, though I don't understand anything really about TikTok, but I will have to look you up on TikTok as well. So
it was great talking to you, bud.
Yeah, nice talking to you as well, Papa Bear. So I know that we have some people still on, and would like to welcome you to come up to the platform and share your wisdom on how you have dealt with mindset after an absence, or mindset in general. What type of mindset cues do you set for yourself? You know, is it a growth mindset? Is it a fixed mindset? So I'd also like to pose a question. If you were to choose a mindset platform, in other words, a growth or a fixed mindset, what do you think that might be? How do you think that would help you to achieve your goals? Or maybe, you know, maybe it's an artist and a singer performing, such as Demetrius Hill. Thank you so much again for coming on. Maybe it's starting that nonprofit like Papa Bear USMC. And, you know, where is that going to take you? Who is that going to inspire? Creating that ripple effect. Wow, that is so powerful. So I want to thank you all. I'm going to wait just another minute or so and see if somebody would like to pop up on stage with me and continue the conversation. If not, no worries. I plan on being back tomorrow or Wednesday, probably Wednesday, but I am committing to myself, my mindset after an absence. I am busting with creativity, and can't wait to share some more wisdom, some more knowledge on how we can renegotiate, redo, restructure, build that foundation of our mindset after an absence. I am truly blessed and grateful that you have spent your time, a little bit of your time with me today, and to listen, not just to hear, but to listen to the conversation at hand. This has been amazing. Oh my gosh, I want to thank all of you so much. My name is Janice Malillo, and I am the creator of Creative Project Ways. I am a virtual assistant and an administrative assistant, executive assistant, whatever you want to call it. Also a podcast host with my sister and my own podcast as well. But today it's about mindset after an absence. Thank you again so much for being here today. I am truly blessed that you shared some time with me. Thank you all and have a wonderful day. Again, I'll probably see you on Wednesday. Thank you.